Good morning. Hi, Shannon Gilmore here with Washington Fine Properties. Today, our community spotlight is on Holistic Horsemanship Services, LLC. I'm going to interview local business owner Adrienne Freeland, who has a degree in recreational therapy, has spent 15 years in inpatient neurology and rehab. Is that right? Okay. And she's also a PATH Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship and internationally certified riding instructor. So CTRI and PATH. I think that's it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. She is going to talk to us today about connection with mindfulness, partnering with horses, and her Holistic Horsemanship Services, how you can stay connected, mindfulness, and the benefits she brings to clients through a partnership with horses and other animals. So Adrienne is going to tell us about her background and her profession, and I'm going to turn the camera on her now. Hi, Adrienne.
Hi, Shannon.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. So just to recap a little bit of what Shannon shared with you, my original degree is in recreational therapy. And what that consists of is working with physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, and when someone comes into the hospital with either a chronic illness or a sudden onset illness, for example, a stroke, or an injury due to trauma.
Okay.
Typically a motor vehicle accident would be a good example, or a near drowning with anoxia.
Okay.
So what we do is we do an assessment on that individual, and we identify as a recreational therapist what their past recreation and leisure pursuits were. So what do you like to do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see yourself, working towards for fun? But we have to adapt that to their current physical or mental or cognitive limitations. So recreational therapy is all about adapting, either adapting the equipment so that they can still do what they did before, adapting the mindset that things need to be done a little bit differently as you recover, and adapting their goals. What are their long-term goals considering their current limitations?
Okay.
So taking that in the inpatient program, and then I stopped for several years to raise my family. And when I decided to go back into professional work, I became PATH certified, the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship. And I worked in that for 3 years, primarily in a mounted program. And there's so many benefits. And most people are more versed in the mounted work from a hippotherapy standpoint, from a balance standpoint, from an endurance standpoint. But the piece that I loved so much was the groundwork and the farm, just the farm chores and the farm fit aspect. I found that it resonated with them more sometimes than the riding. So that's when I broke away and started Holistic Horsemanship Services. And we're currently nonprofit pending. I'm working with a wonderful attorney, and that's going well. And the populations that I see are primarily veterans from the DMV, active military from the DMV that are brought to me in small groups. We also collaborate with Blue Ridge Hospice to do a grief support group. And then I see one-on-one clients and all of that supports the programs that I do for free.
And do you only work with horses?
No, so we have another component that is called animal assisted activity therapies. And we will bring in goats and a miniature and some poultry, and we physically ground, which we bring burlap sacks, and we sit on the ground and we let the animals come into us at liberty. And it's not so much that they're therapeutic animals, but it takes the edge off of us sharing and being transparent.
Okay.
So you can hold a chicken and kind of tell your story. And it just takes the pressure off of just sitting in a circle in like a room in a courthouse. It's just much more natural, and it's much more healing, and it creates an openness in the group.
Do you ever go to the client?
Not particularly. Now, with the pandemic and the situation that we're in now, it's become very in vogue to take the animals to the outside of the nursing homes. I'm sure you've seen some of that.
Yes.
So that they can have that interaction. And I think those programs will grow exponentially from this virus. So that will be something that we'll look at in the future.
How does someone find you if they are interested in these programs or wants to refer somebody?
So the best way is probably through my Facebook page, which is Holistic Horsemanship Services on Facebook.
Okay.
Also my cell phone number through text.
Okay.
Should I give that?
Sure, why not?
It's 904 477 1016.
1016, and just text Adrienne and say you're interested in her services.
Yes.
What if someone has never been around animals or they're very fearful, they've had a bad experience?
That's actually a client that you can see grow incredibly from the experience, because they come in with a fear, and we kind of work through that very slowly. In the first initial evaluation and initial sessions would be the social distancing from the animal until they became more comfortable through my demonstration. So that is not something that would limit you coming.
So many of us are stuck at home and we're stressed out. We can't do the activities that we love. Do you have any suggestions for ways that people can still maybe interact with you, or things that they could do at home?
Absolutely. So a technique that I learned through my work at Boulder Crest Retreat in Bluemont with the veterans is a 4-7-8 breathing technique. And I think that I have gone, it's been my go-to in this since March, so many times a day. So it's simply breathing in through your nose for 4, holding that breath for 7, and then that long exhalation for 8 seconds through pursed lips. And what that does is it helps to ground you and to bring you back to the moment. And that we teach that here before we go into the paddocks. I have all of my participants do a 4-7-8. So that's something that's been very helpful. And I would say maintaining your routine. I think we got in the beginning that it was kind of like a snow day, and it was a sprint, and now we are absolutely seeing that it's a marathon. So just maintaining your habits, getting ready, putting on some lipstick, or making sure you get dressed every day. I think that and like maybe something for each day of the week. So Mondays I bleach my buckets.
Right.
Well, the first couple of weeks of the pandemic, I wasn't bleaching my buckets on Monday because I had no sense of day or time.
Yeah.
So then I got back in that routine, and I'm like, okay, it's Monday. Hey, bleach your buckets.
Right.
So I think some consistency, some checking in with your breath, and just getting some routines that no matter what's going on in the news and the media, you still have those grounding routines.
Making time to get outside, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as you were looking at phase 1 starting May 29th, and so what will that look like? What changes will you implement?
So I feel like I kind of have a leg up because of my hospital background. I would work on units where staff and MRSA would go through quite quickly because of the containment of the hospital setting. So I've used those skills to develop kind of a check sheet on cleaning. On when a participant arrives, they text me from their car, and I have an adapted hand washing station set up.
Okay.
We are requiring the masks, and we're doing social distancing and the sterilizing of the equipment. So I have a whole setup in the bathroom that's COVID friendly.
Okay.
So I think with all those measures in place and people being open to learning and being careful as we go, that we can absolutely make it work. We're obviously out in a very rural area. I only see one person at a time during this situation. So I'm able to keep them very safe, and I'm able to educate them on how to keep me safe.
Very good. And so do you have any other things that you do here that you want to share? Besides, I know you have yoga classes.
Yes. So I am not what I would call very savvy at fundraising. I'm not the gala girl or the shrimp and caviar girl to, make money. So I've come up with an alternative. I say that I raise funds. I'm not a fundraiser. So we have the Airbnb above the barn that all the proceeds go to caring for the horses and the program. It's a beautiful rental in the country, and you can find that on Airbnb, and it's called The Nest.
The Nest. Okay.
And it is also following very strict Airbnb protocol for cleaning and disinfecting.
And we are here in Bluemont, correct?
This is Round Hill.
This is Round Hill.
Yes,
Consider Round Hill. Okay.
Round Hill. Another form of income is boarding. I board horses. And we also do traveling stays. So in fox hunting season, I had some really fun girls come up from Georgia to fox hunt here with Middleburg. And they were able to stay in the nest and board their horses on the property. I also take in semi-retirees, retired horses that are funded. So all of that goes towards the program. It's all truly, hopefully, to be self-sustaining one day.
Do you accept donations, and can people also purchase like a gift card or anything like that for someone?
Absolutely. So the nonprofit process is actually happening right now. It's in with the IRS, and I can use the term nonprofit pending.
Okay.
And the other thing is to give a session to someone who you think it may be very valuable to. I had a woman call me after Mother's Day, and she said, I'd like to get a session for my daughters and would like to stay in the nest. So there are different ways that you can support what I do. Also through Blue Ridge Hospice.
Okay.
Grief support. They're able to take donations, and you could say, I heard about your program and your outdoor grief support through Holistic Horsemanship Services.
Oh, wonderful. And what about people who would like to volunteer? Do you ever have a need for volunteers?
I do. I currently have a veteran volunteer, 25-year service veteran. And he's also in school at Lord Fairfax College, and he's studying outdoor recreation and leadership. So he and I are developing a volunteer program, a risk management program for volunteers.
Okay.
So that's something that is evolving. But certainly paddock picking, stall cleaning is always greatly appreciated, because I'm basically a one-man show.
And did you say you were going to start your yoga, you hoped?
Yes. So right now we're looking at doing the social distancing outdoor yoga.
Okay.
That is a program before the pandemic that I offered in the nest twice a week.
Okay.
It's on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. and my yogi is Luke Greer. And it's kind of focused towards beginners or those recovering from, say, a hip or a knee replacement, or someone who's intimidated in your typical yoga studio. This is a very friendly learning experience.
Okay.
And we hope to get back to that.
More like a gentle or slow yoga.
Exactly.
Okay.
With no judgment.
Right.
No assumptions. Just come as you are.
And I've taken it, and I can vouch as a hip replacement person. Let's see. So people can reach you again at
904
Yep.
477 1016.
And the Facebook page.
The Facebook page is Holistic Horsemanship Services.
And Adrienne, did you want to show us the barn or anything?
Oh, I
while
would
we're
love
here?
to.
Okay,
I would
let's
love
do that.
to.
We're going to mask up and
Awesome.
walk. And hopefully we'll have enough video.
So we can kind of scan out here. The farm has 4 paddocks. And currently we have 4 horses. We have room for 1 more horse because we have a rotation system. It's a 7-stall barn. And the farm is called Sunny Lane Farm.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a really happy place. Here's our burlap sacks that we use for grounding and sitting with the animals. My office is through here with a full bathroom and
Nice.
feeding areas. I just demonstrated my adapted outdoor sink for Shannon, so that's the first thing people will do when they arrive is
Wash
to
their hands. Okay.
All disinfectant, barn rolls, and my little garden out here. And this is the doorway to the nest,
Nice.
and also acts as clinic space when my veterans come from the DC area. They're actually
And the little deck belongs to the nest. So
yes,
if you're
that's
staying
all.
here,
So that's all when you stay at the nest, that's all yours.
parking and your own. Great.
And then we have the ring, and I do a lot of work in the round pen.
Got it.
And you'll see that my mounting block is about 30 feet away from the round pen.
Uh-huh.
So that's where I teach, and my students are in the round pen. So it's very good for social distancing, but it also allows for the individual to connect with the horse. If I'm too close, they'll look to me for guidance because they're my herd. So when I stand back there and instruct, they can have the experience with the horse independently.
Wonderful. Anything else that you'd like to tell us?
I'm so grateful for Shannon for doing this. She was an amazing realtor. I bought and sold with Shannon. Win-win. So, and I'm really just grateful to have the space and to be able to do this work through this crisis.
Well, we're really proud of you, and we've watched this program grow, all your friends and neighbors. So we're super excited to see it. And I think it's, something that is so special and so helpful to the community. So congratulations, Adrienne Freeland. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye.